Have you ever wondered why, even though Gacha game is a scam, people still play it? Before we dive deep into the topic, let's go to our question of the day. What was the first Gacha game you remember playing? For me personally, it was this game called Sword Art Online, Integral Factor. Since I was a big fan of the anime SAO, and as a kid who likes video games, I searched around the Play Store to find a game about SAO. This game, just like in the anime, you would need to farm up by killing different kinds of monsters on every floor until you feel like you can beat the floor boss in that area. After that, you get to advance into the next floor. Though it doesn't have this smooth combat gameplay, I still really enjoyed playing it. What about yours? Tell us in the comments. With that, let's begin with the video. Right off the bat, I think that we can all agree that gacha games are basically gambling. Trying to get a character, weapon, or anything with only a super low percentage chance to get it is gambling, since if you are to pay money to get some premium currency and hope to get the character that you want, is basically the same as buying chips in exchange for money in a casino, and then betting it on their games to hopefully double the money that you have. Most gacha games would need you to spend copious amount of money just to get the character that you want. For example, the arguably most popular gacha game right now, Genshin Impact, calls the rarest character and items in the game a 5-star. To get a 5-star character or weapon, you would need to get lucky, because you only have a 0.6% chance of getting one, which is almost impossible. But what gives this justice is that it has a pity system. Once you hit 90 wishes on their gacha, you would be guaranteed to get a 5-star character. We say 90, but most people get their 5-star at 80 because of this thing called soft pity, where basically there is a high chance that you would get a 5-star if you reach 75 to 80 wishes. Each wish costs 160 primogems. Primogems is how they call their premium currency. This could be gained by playing the game or by buying through microtransaction. So basically, if you exhausted all of your free primogems and you really want to pull a character, you would need to pay $100 to get 6,480 crystals that could be converted to primogems. This is only around 40 pulls, but if you're a first-time buyer, this would be doubled to 80 pulls, which is almost guaranteed to get a 5-star. And if you're lucky, you could get the 5-star that you want in your first pity. If not, ready that credit card again and spend another $200 because you don't have that promo anymore. Now that we understand this, why are we still playing it? Well, one thing is because we find the gameplay fun, and if you're playing a story-based gacha game, maybe you're someone who just plays for the story and doesn't care about the overpowered characters, so you don't spend anything. But there are these players who find it exciting to have that low percentage chance of winning. Gacha games monetize this feeling of getting rewarded, that dopamine hit that gets you excited whenever you get that 5-star or you get lucky. I personally just got it the other day because I got this character called Fei Xiao from Honkai Star Rail in my 50th pull, not guaranteed, and I gotta say that dopamine hit was so amazing that I almost released it, especially after a long time of not being able to get an early 5-star. But the difference with me is that I don't spend anything. Now, I'm not going to call myself the only motherfucker that should be getting praised in the gacha gaming community, because the reason that I don't spend, because I'm a broke college student that can't spend $100 for a video game. But if I could, the story would be so different, because another thing that popular gacha games monetize on is FOMO, or fear of missing out. We all had that feeling of being afraid to miss out on events such as big sales on Amazon, where whenever you see an item that you don't really need right now because it's on sale, you end up buying it. The same thing happens in the gacha gaming industry because characters generally have a timer on how long they're only available. This could make you do a rash decision and swiping that card because you don't want to wait for a rerun of a certain character before you could get them. Most modern gacha games released in the present generally use the same kind of system as Genshin Impact because it is proven to work. This doesn't mean that all of the people who spend on a gacha game are dumb. If you have that extra money to spend money to get that gratification that you want in a video game, then why not do it? This only becomes an addiction when you know that you need the money on more important stuff, but you decide to spend it all on a gacha game. So you should spend your money responsibly. Also, for non-spenders, don't shame the people who are spending on this loot box system because they are the ones paying for you guys to keep the game running. Since most modern gacha games are free, this gives the free-to-play players a game that they could enjoy without paying because the people who spent copious amounts of money in the game let them do so. So for the people who make fun of people who spend on loot boxes or gacha games, don't you find it weird that you're making fun of them for having the money to be able to spend that much? Another reason that could support this narrative of gacha games being a scam is this. Don't you guys notice how these open-world gacha games like Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, and Honkai Star Rail are very expensive to make, but still, they make it free? To compare, Final Fantasy, the Zelda series, and the new upcoming game made by Bandai Namco called Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream are all very expensive. But somehow, an open-world gacha game like Genshin Impact is free to play for all players? The answer to that is gacha. I surprised you there, didn't I? I hope that me mentioning these kinds of things gives you knowledge of how gacha games are truly unfair and predatory, and that they could earn more than other alike games despite them being free. Because this means that this game being free would get players to spend in the game even though they're planning not to do so in the first place because they're looking for that dopamine hit that they once felt. And with a combo of having the fear of missing out on a character, this would be a pretty powerful combo to get someone who has the ability to spend in this game to actually spend it. Another problem that people could face here is that since people of all ages could play this game, this means that we could have some truly unfortunate case. Just like what happened to a certain family in China, where a 13-year-old girl used her parents' $64,000 life savings just to spend it on mobile games in a span of a few months. Now you may think that this girl is just a kid being dumb, but this girl was smart because she deleted all the transaction records so that she wouldn't get caught easily. It will not be weird if something like this also happens on the gacha gaming community. In fact, it might just be happening right now, and it's just not getting reported. This just shows how even children are now able to learn and participate in gambling in the form of a game. With all of that said, gacha games are a fun way to spend our free time, let out some stress, and have fun. But we could also see how gacha games could become an addiction. It could lead you to destroy your life. That is why it is important to have control and spend responsibly. Always remember to only spend what you can lose, or else your short-term happiness could lead to your long-term suffering. I hope that you learned something, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a sub and maybe test out our super thanks, because I just got partially accepted to the YouTube Partner Program. With that, see you on the next video.